Everybody. What's going on, everybody? This is the Root Cause Podcast, where we get to the root cause of what's going on in the world. With me, I have my brother Ace Chandler. He's a business owner. He's a digital marketing guru. He can help your business kind of upscale and find new clients and come up with new strategies for your business. As you see, we have a guest tonight because our brother Eric is traveling right now.
What's up?
Yeah, spending time with some friends and everything. Big celebration for a friend of his. And so we have in his place my sister friend, Miss Terry Dove-Pittman. She is a wife. She's a mother. She's a woman of God. She's a conservative. She's currently a procurement strategist who assists specifically minority women and veterans find government contracts. So if you need help with any of those things, you can reach out to Miss Terry Dove-Pittman on social media, and she can get you hooked up. Lady and gentlemen, y'all doing all right tonight?
Doing fine.
Good.
Blessed and highly favored. Hallelujah.
I know that's right. We told Terry that even though this is a kind of a left show with, and Aaron's more of an independent, that it should be interesting tonight with a conservative on the panel because we want to diversify. We are a nonpartisan show. We just have our opinions that might lean a little bit to the left. So we're gonna get started tonight right off the bat, y'all, because we're here in Indianapolis, Indiana. There's some news recently that's come out about the closure of Martin University here in Indianapolis. Martin University, it hits home in a really painful way, I think, for a lot of people here in Indianapolis, especially Black people in our city, because for decades, Martin University stood as a pathway for adult learners, formerly incarcerated individuals, working parents, and people who needed a second chance at higher education to be able to get a college diploma. The closure of Martin University is more than like a budget line or an administrative decision. It's another institution serving Black and marginalized communities that seems to be collapsing under financial pressure, declining enrollment, and years of underinvestment. And it raises tough questions about how Indianapolis and the state of Indiana specifically supports or fails to support educational spaces that serve non-traditional students, specifically Black and brown students. So it's a pretty significant pause. So what they're doing, as we understand it right now, is that they're kind of pausing some of their programming going into the spring semester, and so it's probably going to leave a lot of students, especially here in the Indianapolis area, in lieu and kind of up in the air. So I want to start tonight with our guest, our sister, Miss Terry Dove-Pittman. What is your thought on this? Your initial thought when you heard this news about Martin University, and then we'll kind of discuss maybe the layers of where this might be coming from. So, what was your initial thoughts when you heard about it?
Well, first, I hate it. I know right now they said it's about 100 students that are going to be displaced. I hate that this is happening. They have been an institution for 50 years. It's the neighborhood I grew up around, Martindale, Brightwood. So, it is, it is not great to know that it is closing, but I can't say that I'm shocked. But I don't think it's shocking, but I think it is. It's one more thing that seems like it didn't receive support, and it's one more thing that I feel like is uniquely ours that is being shut down. So not happy about it, but I can't say I'm shocked. I can't say like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. Like that's it. They've always had a bit of financial issues. I got my own thoughts about that, but just one more thing. It's just like things are being taken away slowly, whether by administrative issues, financial issues, or leadership issues. All those come into play. I think sometimes things can become a perfect storm, and I feel like that's kind of what's happening with Martin.
Yeah, it does seem like there's been a convergence of all the negative factors, like converging all at once.
Yeah.
Ace, what's your thought on this, man? Because I know everybody Black in Indianapolis community somehow, some way has some kind of connection to Martin University. And if I'm not mistaken, you might be able to unpack that a little bit more. Ace, you've done some things with them, or you've been around the school with your marketing company. What's your thoughts, man?
I would have to agree with Terry. It's unfortunate, but I'm not surprised. I'm not going to lie and say I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Just on the outside looking in, I've seen things where I've, you start to question, like, okay, who's in charge? What's the decision making on over here? Um, but it's just unfortunate. Terry, you started talking about it, and then you kind of pulled back. But you said there's always um, things that, whether it's administration, leadership, whether it's the state or the city itself stepping in and trying to pull things back from the Black community. But I would also say, when it comes to community support, if you alienate yourself from the Black church, how do you make the appeal to get the Black church back in? Now, I'm not going to say they're atheists, but Kendall, you can kind of talk about that a little bit. If you're not HBCU, we were talking about this offline. If you're not an HBCU and you're not affiliated with any type of religious organization and all that, so I get it, but where's your support going to come from then at that point?
I guess my and Terry made this point offline, and I think it's a good point, and I want her to unpack it a little bit. But I guess as you both have said, I guess the question is like, who's in charge, right? So like who because I've had the kind of the same thing, some scenarios I've been a part of, some cohort opportunities I had to be a part of certain things, and it wasn't that I had a problem with Martin University, because I'm always on the side of the little guy. I like being with the little guy, and making the little guy shine. I like being on the side of the underdog. So that wasn't the case for me. It was I couldn't find the path to what makes it make sense. You know what I mean? Like the way I'm describing it right now is kind of how confusing it is. And then what's crazy is it doesn't level set with some of the amazing graduates of Martin University. Because there's some amazing people in the Black community in Indianapolis that are graduates of Martin University. I mean, like amazing. That have gone on to do amazing things. Go ahead, Aaron.
No, we know a lot of them. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, no, and so, so Terry, go ahead and unpack, because we talked offline about when you and I think Aaron is alluding to it, Ace is alluding to it, that when you don't have any real affiliations, you're kind of out there on your own, and the problem is you're out there on your own as a Black institution. You are a Black institution with no undergirding. So you're not an HBCU. So you're not undergirded. You're not a part of any. You're not a part of any religious reformation. So you're not undergirded there. You are a private school, so you don't qualify for public funding. So you're not undergirded there. So if you're going to do that, you better have some tremendous benefactors, right? And they don't. So, peel the layer back a little bit for us, Terry, before we move on to our first real segment of the show. Just kind of give me some additional thoughts, like unpack kind of some of what you said before we went live tonight. What were some of the other things you were sharing with us?
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, what's the business model? Like, what's the business model of how you're funded? Because if you're not an HBCU, right, you're not a parochial school where the Catholic Church could fund you, because that's where the bread at. Father Boniface, I loved him. I always thought he looked like Frederick Douglass when I was a child. I was like, oh my God, he's so, he was a beautiful person. And I know what he wanted to create, but my thing is, how do you fund this? Like, you can't get HBCU money, you can't get federal money that way. You're not really a public college. You're a private, non-denominational college. So the state really has no obligation to fund you. You're looking to be funded by the generosity of people, or you're going to have to find benefactors, or you're going to have to find supplemental partners. I don't know overall when they built the business model how they thought this would be funded. And I don't know if it's from the kindness or it's donations. I mean, it's not even a nonprofit. So I could see if you were even a nonprofit, a 501c3 university, like I think is Anderson University? I think but what were the ways that they considered funding? And I sometimes, sometimes I see this happen with our people sometimes. Like, it is a beautiful idea. It is beautiful to say what we can do and how the impact happens, but how are we going to get this done financially?
Follow through.
Yeah, the implementation is like, how do we fund this, not basing it on people's hearts? You know what I mean? You cannot base running an institution off of the kindness. I mean, Pastor, come on, Pastor.
Hey, you listen. Terry, you preaching to the choir. You preaching to the pastor because look, if that model worked, then the black church would have the money that everybody accuses us of having that we do not have. By the way, and I try to get people to understand that when you are and like you say, you make a good point. You're depending on the generosity of people, but you're depending on the generosity of a group of people who historically have struggled financially themselves.
Right.
And so I know that Martin University they have fundraisers and different things like that they do throughout the year to raise funds and that kind of thing. But
people can't write it off. I mean, so who can, you can't get corporations involved. It really has to be, you might get the Divine Nine. They might say, here you go. Or you might get, the 100 Negro women that might say, okay, but they have their own things that they, it leaves you a narrow road of funding. So I'm just wondering if that is something in their charter that they had to stick to, or they didn't vote on something else. I don't, and then another thing is, we talk about recruiting. I was thinking about this in the shower before this came up, is I'm an IPS graduate. Martin University never came to my school. I went to Northwest High School. Martin University never came to Northwest High School and say, hey, sign up and you can go to IU. IU came, I mean, you can go to Martin. IU came, Vincennes came. I think even Baylor at Ohio came. Baylor?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Grambling came. When Expo, these schools came and vetted me as a potential enrollee. I have never seen Martin, in my experience, even at an IPS school for recruitment. So I'm just trying to, what is the game plan of how you're going to be funded? If you were just going to do enrollment, and your recruitment game got to be on 1,000. You got to be recruiting all the time. So I hate to say it, and I've had some business dealings with kind of like what Aaron said earlier. It's there's a way that one says this could go, and then when it hits the board, it can't happen. Or there's a way that this looks like this is innovative, but we don't want to do this. It's a way that this, y'all didn't even fix your parking lot. So I'm just trying to get, where is the management? What's the management methodology?
But here's the thing, Terry. It might be that them taking this pause might be them pivoting the strategy. That might be what this is about, because I do know some people, and I haven't dug into it, but I do know some people over there that are in the brain, close enough to the brain trust. This might be what that's about. Ace, you wanna close us out with this? You got any final thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, so Terry mentioned board, and we need to dive in. There's a lot of that's a whole nother discussion, but when it comes to these boards here in Indy, and since I'm very involved in the nonprofit sector, I'm going to tread lightly. Board members, if you're on a board, don't be the reason why that organization fails. I'm just going to say that. When you sometimes, in order to be a board member, you have to be selfless. It's not about you, and it's not about your ego. It's not about none of that stuff. Your organization is about the institution that you're representing, and put that institution above yourself. If you cannot, sit your butt down somewhere. Sit down.
Sat down, as
Step
my grandma
down.
would say. Sat
Sit
down.
down somewhere.
Yes, step down. This is not directed at Martin's board, because I don't know who's on the board. And I don't know the ins and outs of that.
It's
I'm
just
not
the
talking, but
space in general.
there are a lot of correct, and I'm addressing a growing problem here in Indy, especially with these Black-led institutions and organizations, and where the board is, where you have a lot of people on the board who are working against the institution.
Against the institution.
So it's like a correct, and
Oh,
then
yeah, no,
it's like,
it's a real thing, Ace, because there are some people that are literally embedded adversaries of the very institution for which they sit on a board. I've seen it. It's a real thing. It's not something, it's not a TV, it's not made for TV. It's a real thing. There are people literally out here sabotaging the organization that they work for because they're getting a bigger check from somebody else. It's a real thing.
Dude, I get calls and text messages regularly, people venting about what's going on with their board. We advise on, how to use storytelling to raise funds and attract donors. So I'm in those, when we're having those conversations, I have it all pretty frequently. And it's just something I was like, you know what? I need to just do a whole episode just on board management. But the thing is, I will say this, my organization will be launching next year. There will be things that it's not even going to be possible. Watch.
Well, I'll do your 501c3. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna right there. I got you.
You do what?
I'll help you with your 501c3. I got you.
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk offline. But I definitely want to. So I'm not saying this is a Martin. I'm not putting this to anyone at Martin University or on their board, but I just wanted to use that this segment to kind of raise the issue. It's something that we should start talking about more often.
Absolutely. All right, moving on. Listen, that y'all's president. Tonight there's a question that it feels like it becomes more and more real every day. How does a president sell himself as a peacemaker while the world is lighting up with conflict on every side, right? Over the last few weeks, we have seen escalating tensions in Somalia to Venezuela. Allegations that the U.S. military contractors may have committed war crimes, and
in
ICE,
international waters.
In international waters, ICE having aggressive ICE raid patterns across major democratic cities. And while all that is happening, President Trump is shifting symbolic policy too, including canceling free park days to the national parks for on MLK Day and Juneteenth, but adding Flag Day, which is also his birthday, as a free day. And honestly, there's a growing contradiction, I think, between the image that's being projected of him being a peacemaker and the actual decisions that he's actually making in real life. And when you look at foreign policy, immigration enforcement, their public messaging in the White House, the pattern suggests escalation, not peace. So we are going. We're going to unpack this paradox tonight. This is it's a bit of a paradox tonight. So let me ask y'all a question, and I want to start with
Okay.
how does policies, how do these policies impact Black and immigrant communities? what does it mean for America's global standing, and why is the administration leaning deeper into symbolic provocation at home? So, what does this mean for immigrants? Some of the rhetoric we're hearing, the escalation in the ICE raids, the escalation with Venezuela. What does that say to immigrants in this country? What should it be saying to us? And then, in addition to that, these deeper symbolic, or dare I say, dog whistles that are being blown with their policies right now. How should we be metabolizing some of this, Terry? How should we be metabolizing this right now?
Well, it's hard to digest crazy. I mean, I've been in this game 20 years, right? And what you used to see trends of policy, they took at least 15 years to hit, right? So you understood, like, the Affordable Care Act didn't just start. It was a thought. It went through a committee of the thought. I mean, it started with Clinton. You know what I mean? It pushed through the thought of the committees of the House to Clinton, but it was finalized with Obama. You know what I mean? So the what I'm used to is this is a progression, but what I was studying the other day, what the MAGA cult has done, because I learned personally that Project 2025 is not new. And I thought, okay, they took a while to have a think tank and they did this, but it actually comes from Lewis. It's the Lewis Memorandum, if people write that down. If you read the Lewis Memorandum from 1970, where it talks basically about, they called socialists, which was Fred Hampton, which was the civil rights movement, which was what was kind of going on, kind of leading from Vietnam, some of what was happening in the Panama Canal. It was like all of these folks are starting to say, stop being imperialists, right? And the Lewis Memorandum basically said, we got to get corporate and we got to start getting think tanks together to start making policies to get any foreign influence out. Anybody that is socialist that believes the people actually have control. So I really feel like if you look at that Lewis Memorandum, these crazy people actually are following it to a T. And the point is, if we get rid of all of our immigrants, they already know overall our populace isn't as educated as the rest of the world, right? Overall.
We actually just talked about that last week. Yeah, just talked about it last week. Yeah.
We have been indoctrinated since children that we're number one everywhere. We're not the biggest.
We literally talked about this last week. Yeah. Aaron, real quick, Terry. Aaron talks a lot about the farce of American exceptionalism.
Yeah.
It is if you go around the world, it's not a real thing. As a matter of fact, Americans, I can make the case that we're some of the dumbest people on the face of the earth. We are genuinely.
Well, you know who we are. We're everybody's sugar daddy.
Thanks, West Virginia.
Everybody's sugar. We're everybody's sugar daddy. We go pay everybody's stuff.
Thanks, Appalachia. Appalachia, we love you.
And Mississippi, God bless you.
Thank you, Mr.
You know, we say stuff. Let's just take the statement made in America.
They go like, West Virginia's gonna get you. They trust me. They can't read the signs to even get to Indiana.
You said somebody West Virginia gonna come get you. All right, I'm gonna write the coordinates down on the middle of my forehead.
They gonna come get you. G-I-T. They gonna come get you.
I'll write the coordinates right on my forehead. See if they come find me. Go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry.
Look, Republicans in West Virginia redrawing the maps with crayon.
They say, "Give me that mark over there. Give me that mark over there, son."
Let me stop.
Go ahead, Terry.
Let me stop before we get Terry canceled.
They can't cancel me unless Jesus says so. So they can't touch me.
Oh, that's right.
So it's like these policies to get rid of all this foreign brain power, and that you're the person of peace. I first of all, I'm just gonna say FIFA need to stick to kicking balls and not giving out. That's what you need to stick to. You didn't make this just extra, but just like he's saying, he's trying to garner peace in Rwanda and the Congo, and after they signed the document, they had a whole violent issue. So it's like it's not working. Then he's trying to go to Nigeria, but if people really look at what's happening, right? Let's take Rwanda, Congo, and Nigeria, right? We have an issue because China basically called our bluff. It was like, you can't do nothing to us. Like, you need to stop tripping because nothing America. And I was at a conference for business, and the man said, when you hear made America, you need to change that to assembled in America. Nothing is made in America. What we might have the base of the car, but the carburetor, the outside panel came from the Philippines. This might have come from Canada. Like, it's assembled here, but nothing's made here. So
but I'm
like,
American.
America is America.
And because Terry, in all fairness, we have, and this is why I'm trying to get people to understand. I don't care what any Republican, any politician, Republican or Democrat, will tell you. This is a global economy.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can make tweaks to what's going on in the economy. We can't fundamentally change anything about the economy without destroying it. So the fact that people, but again, it's a part of the education or the lack thereof that the average American seems to think that they are. We are not. We are dumb as all get out, and we really don't even understand how this stuff works. Go ahead and finish it. I just wanted to just interject it. You're right. It's not made in America. It's assembled in America.
It's assembled in America. So it's like everybody else. Well, let's just, like, this thing about peace is all about business. All of those countries have been found to have high grades of either diamond or lithium in their country. So Nigeria just found like $1 trillion worth of lithium, and the richest man in Africa, who's a multi-billionaire, is Nigerian, and he said he wanted to make Nigeria the #1 country in renewable energy. That's why you got Nicki Minaj giving a statement about how he's concerned about the Christians. But are you concerned about the Christians in Sudan? No, because lithium's not there.
Are you concerned about the Christians who are Hispanic?
Are you concerned about the black Christians on Post Road?
Because exactly, because the Hispanic community, I was reading a few months ago, this Hispanic community is like 57, 58% Catholic.
Yep.
Staunch Catholic. So do you care about them? They're Christians. But you keep rounding them up and shipping them on out of here. But that's the problem though, Terry. It's the and we talk about this almost every week, a version of this, right, Ace, about just how it is so fake, right? It is so it's smoke and mirrors. It's witchcraft. Mm-hmm. It's sleight of hand. It's a card game it's a card game in Times Square in New York City. It's a card game. Follow the queen, follow the queen, follow the queen. It's a shell game because none of this stuff is real. You don't care about Christians because the people you're locking up and snatching them out of their cars, those Hispanic people, they are Christians. Yeah. You don't care about Christians, and you make a good point. Every last one of these countries that he's now all of a sudden he wants to stop drugs in Venezuela while he gave a pardon to the most prolific drug smuggler in the history of the world. That's a real thing. It's a real thing. The most prolific, here he is, the most prolific drug smuggler in the history of this world. You gave a pardon to while you're telling us that you want to deal with the drugs coming out of Venezuela, and you blowing up fishing boats, right? Look, the fishing boats, telling us that you care about people like this guy, right? But you blowing up people in fishing boats. You see what I'm saying? And you want us to sit here and pretend with you. You want us to pretend with you as if this is a real thing. It's nothing but smoke and mirrors, symbolism, thinly veiled racism, and a thinly veiled attempt to steal people's natural minerals and steal their money out from underneath them. That's what this is. Ace, jump in there real quick. I'll come back to you, Terry.
So Kendall, SNL, I mean, they are golden. Did you see that ad? Or did you see that clip where they were talking about Trump's fake peace prize?
President Trump has not yet won the Nobel Peace Prize, but this week he did win the equally prestigious Soccer Peace Prize. At yesterday's World Cup draw, FIFA actually invented a fake peace prize in Trump's honor. And that's why the trophy shows Trump's gnarled hands dragging the entire earth into hell.
Think about this for a second. Everybody knows that you can get whatever you is by pretending like you like him.
Mm-hmm.
If you say nice things to him, you can get anything out of him. If you give him a little money and rub on his leg, you can get anything from him. Y'all, what kind of deals are Ace? What kind of deals are he making? Is he making around the world that we don't know about? Because somebody's willing to give him some money. Somebody's willing to tell him that he's a good guy, that he's so smart.
I mean, just look at the peace that he created in Gaza, and as soon as his plane wasn't even
in the sky.
In the air. As soon as they left the tarmac, this dude, a missile fell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this dude, he goes around the world.
Same thing. Where was that? Where was that? Did you just
Congo and Rwanda.
In Rwanda,
as soon as the ink was wet, they had a violent conflict soon.
Yeah, they had the document done to blow the ink dry, and as soon as they sit on the table, it's like, all right, cool, all right, pop, 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 pop. Like, come on, bro, go ahead, Ace. I'm sorry.
Like they said in the beginning, he's a president. They said the Nobel Peace POS the Nobel POS prize. That was hilarious. But it's just fitting. I mean, it's just fitting. You have a carnival clown who's just continuously trying to put his name on everything. Oh, I'm the president of peace, and I'm what's the one that they said he was the great Caesar?
Cyrus the Great.
Cyrus the Great. And it's like, how many? Instead of trying to give him labels, make him actually be a president for everyone. You know, you out here, you got ICE running people up into their house. And this, speaking of ICE, this lets you know it's not a legitimate, search. Because if you're running from the police, you can run up in the house, you can climb up a tree, you can jump on a plane, and they were coming right behind you. If you fly somewhere because you hear that the police are coming, they're gonna come and get you eventually. Or you're gonna be extradited back. They're gonna work with the agencies, police agencies over there, and they're gonna extradite your butt back to Indy or back to America. And the thing is, you got these ICE agents that all you got to do is jump the fence into your yard, and they'll stop.
And the pursuit stops.
They'll step on their grass. Can't get me. I'm in my yard. Okay, well, when you don't come out, don't come back outside on the sidewalk. And people are supposed to believe. But this is
there was real quick. There was an NYPD, and I forgot to have us pull this up, but there was an NYPD officer that put an ICE agent under arrest.
Yeah,
because of the fact that he said, you know, they pulled somebody out the car and all that kind of stuff, and the NYPD officer came running down. Yeah, running down the street. I think they were in Brooklyn, maybe, and and he came running down the street. He said, "Man, look, that's an unlawful arrest." He said, "Where's your probable cause? Where's your warrant?" And he was like, "I don't need a warrant." He said, "Yes, you do." He said, "If you try to arrest them, I'm arresting you." He said, "Man, go on, I'm about to do my job." And he called for backup. They arrested him. Because go ahead. They don't have border agents don't have authority outside of 200 miles.
Mm-hmm. This is the president of peace. And look at all the destruction. And that we was trying to figure out last episode, Kendall, what year are we in? Tell me this is year number 3.
It's not.
We're not in year 3. We're not.
No,
We
it's year
haven't.
one.
This is not a full term.
No, it's year one. Go ahead. I'm gonna pull up the countdown.
Oh my god.
Let's see how much time we got left.
So yeah, so I mean, so I agree with you. I've been saying. I mean, it's like this dude and his fake peace prize. There's nothing that he's done
You ready, Aaron?
has resembled. Go ahead.
1,137 days, 15 hours, 44 minutes, and 38 seconds left in the Trump presidency. Congratulations.
Man, look, Kendall, what's going on in Indiana? What's going on in Indiana?
It's
Ah.
Where are they doing apps?
Ah,
You don't want to get drug down into a morbid abyss. Now look, the lawmakers here in Indiana, the governor called a special session for mid-cycle redistricting, something that almost never happens unless there's a real political pressure bubbling coming from Washington. So the Indiana GOP is now claiming publicly that they are leaning against approving the new maps in the Senate, but some senators say that they are not going to pass this, but it did pass out of committee yesterday. So as a part of the legislative process, it'll go into committee for reconciliation out of the House. The House passed it last week. It then came to the Senate side and they went into committee. And the committee is like everything else in Indiana, a supermajority for the Republicans. And they passed it out of committee, and now it's going to be headed for the floor probably either Thursday or Friday. Terry, talk to me, honey. This is up your alley here. What are we looking at? What is this, Terry? What help?
It's a hot. It's a
help
hot.
me.
It's a hot mess. I have a friend, Chris Spangle. He's a libertarian, and he put a map up. That's what I was just looking for, where it showed that Keystone Avenue will now be a part of 4 different congressional districts, which is just
insane.
Like if you're going up 38th Street, it is now part of District 4, District 1. Like it is absolutely insane. I do have some really good friends that I know want to say no. Kyle Walker, who is a good friend of mine. He's my senator up here in Hamilton County and used to be Marion County chairman. So when I ran for office, he was my chairman. He's the one that put money behind me, some money behind me. But and then you have Senator Jim Buck, who is like the granddad of who really set this whole thing off. He was really the one that kind of said no last time. And that's when all the swatting happened, because Jim Buck has mentored many of those folks. He's mentored Todd Houston. Like he's mentored a lot of these folks. So if Jim Buck is like, no, this ain't you're not bringing this out to Zionsville, baby. This ain't coming out here. We don't.
Well, because here's the thing, Terry. We talked about this last week. Zionsville is becoming more diverse.
Yes, it is.
And you listen. I'm gonna tell you something. Look at these, and now Terry, because they don't know your deep connection to politics, because you and I usually play on opposite sides of the fence, but we friends. I love you, right? And so it's look, all is fair in politics, right? But you and I both know, looking at this with a strategic eye, they have made some tremendous mistakes in how they've tried to do this. You can tell this map to your right on your screen, this came from Washington, because District 9, that includes downtown Indianapolis and parts of Hallville, down into also including Jeffersonville and other towns going down all the way down to Kentucky.
Are now constituents with Greenwood. Does that make sense? Hallville and Greenwood, they got the same interest.
Yeah, exactly. And watch this. And then I'm in current, I'm Northwest Pike Township, right? And so they have Pike Township. If you look at this, Pike Township wraps from Northwest Indy up around Hamilton County, and it tucks all the way back over to Richmond, Indiana. From Richmond, Indiana, all the way down to Batesville, Indiana, by Cincinnati, Ohio. Terry,
My daughter could have drawn a better map, and she
Terry,
can't.
Terry. I'm gonna be when we do our district meetings. I'm gonna be having district meetings with people in Batesville, Indiana. Do you see what I'm talking about? But here's the problem, Terry. Real quick, and I'll give you the floor so you can finish your thought. To me,
Mm,
District 1 is in play.
absolutely.
District 2 is
My
in
girl
play
Jennifer
for
Green.
the Democrats.
Absolutely.
District 5 is in play. District 7 is in play.
Yep.
District 4 is in play. Because I think they underestimate Terre Haute and Lafayette, Indiana. I think
There's going to be a lot of farmers wondering why their stuff went blue. Now, how did that happen?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, and 8, so like 8, 3, those are probably safe, right? Those are blue collar, but they're blue collar, like northwest Ohio and southeast Michigan, all up and through there before you get to Detroit. That's a lot of blue collar Trump people, right? But District 2, that has part of Fort Wayne and South Bend in it, and Michigan City and Portage, that was a mistake. District 2 is in play. District 1 is in play because, if I'm not mistaken, it takes up Lake County, and I think it comes down towards just north of Kokomo. But you've got a couple other places up and through there. Elkhart and some other places would be in District 1. Yeah. And then District 5 has Zionsville and Hamilton County, and it looks like it goes back up towards. I think Marion, Indiana, and so on and so forth. So I think in an attempt to poison the water, they have turned a lot of those counties into purple.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You turned them into purple counties.
And
if I'm Andre Carson, I haven't talked to his office. I haven't talked to anybody over there because ain't nothing to talk about yet. Right? There's no need for strategy yet because there hasn't. If it passes, then we'll need to talk. But in my mind, if I'm Andre Carson, I'm holding on for dear life. I'm holding on for dear life to District 7. I'm gonna run in District 7. You wanna know why? Because it has Northwest Indy and Pike Township, and Pike Township is a stronghold, consistent stronghold of Democratic voters that consistently come out in large numbers and vote.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Go ahead, Terry. Give us some more commentary. I know I kind of took it because I wanted to show those maps, but go ahead and finish your thought.
No, I think that is dead on. I think that they might lose 3 seats. I think in their attempt, because it is very clear that everywhere there is a cut through that map is a high population of minority people. You already have rural people not happy because of their property taxes going crazy. They're losing hospitals. They're not happy with what they thought they were getting. Some of these farmers, their workers are gone. Some of these farmers can't get fertilizer because you cut the tariff crazy with Canada. So, like, you're almost building a base of disgruntled people. And I think the Republicans need to remember Bart Peterson. Bart Peterson didn't win because he was an amazing candidate. He won because the people were irritated with the property tax and what was going on. They were irritated with the situation. So we just want something that's different from the situation. And that's what they're not getting. People will rally together if their life is worse than when you were dealing with them. And if that means getting you out. So they are really creating their own opposition. As a conservative, I do know they don't have great grassroots in the inner city. Me running, I could get no, because everybody's appointed, right? Everybody's appointed. The great thing that I found when I was running for office, let's just take 38 in Emerson. I could go down one of those neighborhoods. Miss Jackson been in that neighborhood for 20 years, or she knows the people that have moved in and out, and she can tell you who grandma used to live there. She know the grandkids. If she's a precinct commitment, she getting all them people filled up and signed up. She know neighborhood. Meanwhile, Megan Rotherstein has been just moved over there because now they got new apartments. And she doesn't know anybody, but she's my committee.
That's a heck of a name right there. What's the name again, Terry?
Megan Rotherstein.
Megan Rotherstein living in Brightwood.
and you know, and she might have built a house over there, but she has no intel. And she probably got appointed. So when I come over there as a Republican candidate and I say, Megan, what's going on over here? What's the sign up? She knows nobody. So they haven't even gotten their intel from Marion County. It's what I was just talking to a senator that got me into this game. At the end of the day, y'all cannot beat Andre Carson. And I'm going to just be honest. It's not because he's such a great congressman. I like him as a person, but it's not that he's brought so much money back to Indiana. You can't find a black male candidate that likes being black in Marion County. Y'all don't like people that like being black as Republicans. So I'm one of the few that actually likes being culturally black and love the diaspora and love being black. But you haven't found a formidable candidate. And there have been people that have presented yourself, but they don't fit your narrative. They're not black adjacent. And so,
hey, Terry,
yes,
what you just said kind of remind me of something. Did you know VOP is stepping down?
I saw that.
It just went public today, or yesterday, I believe.
Well, because I don't think he sees any upward movement.
Well, he didn't have the votes either.
Yeah. Y'all gotta understand this. I be trying to tell people. Unfortunately, you can get mad at it all you want, but these decisions are made in cigar smoke filled rooms around Marion County.
They are.
On both the Republican and Democratic side. And a lot of times these decisions are made with Republicans and Democrats in the room smoking a cigar together.
Brother, that is what Unigov is. I don't think people really understand what Unigov is, right? Unigov was Democrats and Republicans basically making the deal. Hey, y'all can have Marion County. We'll take Zionsville. We'll take Carmel. Don't come in here, but we'll let you have Marion County. We'll let that be a stronghold for you. Y'all got Center Township. Y'all take all of that. Wayne Township. Y'all keep all that. But when it comes out to those outer units,
don't bring that past 126th Street. But what they just did, is they just brought it past 126th Street.
Hamilton County, we good, but everybody else, everybody else. That was the whole point of 465, and now you have disrupted. All 465 was to keep black people in and white people to come in so they could come to their jobs and go back out securely. You have disrupted all of that. And now,
and real quick, Ace, Terry, and Aaron and Ace just jumping in right after this. Terry, me and Eric both said that we do not believe these maps came from anybody in Indiana.
No,
because if you know the terrain, you would have never written some of these maps the way they're written. You would not do this if you knew what you was looking at. You wouldn't do this. You would not.
It's coming from Washington.
Has to be because they don't know the terrain, and they're about to mess up the Indiana Republican Party.
Yeah, you got the Mike Johnson who's actually making calls right now. He's probably here. He's already. They were saying there's been a clash between Republican lawmakers and Washington. They've been turning up the heat on Indiana, saying, "Hey, get these maps done. Get these maps done. And that's why you have Republicans pushing back. It's because they're saying, "Hey, this is going to kill us."
Yeah,
this is going to kill us.
Those state senators, see, the state representatives aren't nearly as impacted with redrawn districts as state senators are impacted.
Absolutely.
The states, that's why the Senate is having trouble passing this, because they're looking at because they know their district and they're looking like, wait a minute, if y'all start doing all this, boy, I'm gonna get the brakes beat off of me. I've been coasting quiet. I don't want no smoke. You know what I mean?
That's why Senator Walker, that's why Kyle Walker is not going for re-election.
Rotherstein is crazy.
Kyle Walker is not going for re-election. And here's also the thing, like you said, Ace, that they just talked about swatting, but they are being followed. They are telling them where their kids live, where their kids are going to school. They are being
doxing them and stuff.
And her, because really harassing. I mean, you can say, well, I just walked by your kid's school 7 times, but that is a threatening gesture to me. And that these people are going through constant harassment from the federal government. It's mob-like tactics. And my thing is, if your policies are so amazing, you don't have to try to stack the deck, right? You're trying to stack the deck because you know people, when these midterms come around, are not going to be in your favor. They're not going to want to do this. So let's stack the deck so we can add 2 more seats.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Go ahead, Ace. Finish out your thought.
So no, my thought was finished. I was going to say, since we're talking about movement and Jasmine Crockett, she's moving around too.
She is.
She's moving.
She's trying to make some moves. So
and they're going after her too. Boy, Trump going after her.
Hey, and listen to me. Hey man, y'all leave Jasmine alone.
Before we throw hands.
Was that the quiet storm voice? Why you got the quiet storm voice?
Throw hands, great.
Hey, y'all leave Jasmine alone.
Yeah,
leave her alone. Hey, Jasmine, I got you. We good. I got you. No, listen. No, so seriously. So Jasmine Crockett, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has announced her run for the U.S. Senate, and whether you love her or not, you cannot deny that she has political energy behind her. Jasmine has become a breakout voice in Congress. Partly because she is unafraid to confront Republicans directly, especially in those hearings, and partly because she speaks in a language that the grassroots of the Democratic Party can actually understand. Her considering to run for the Senate introduces like a new dynamic for American politics, though, because she represents a younger, more aggressive Democratic wing that is tired of playing defense and is ready to go on the offense. If she wins a Senate seat, it would signal probably a generational shift and expand Black female leadership in one of the most exclusive institutions in the country, which is the House of Representatives, the U.S. Senate. It also means that issues like voting rights, policing reform, reproductive freedom will have a louder microphone in those Senate hearings because they're a little more quiet than the House hearings. But her campaign will test whether or not voters want boldness or moderation in 2026, and it will test whether Democrats are ready to support candidates who speak plainly instead of politically. Ace, give me some thoughts on this. We're a fan of Jasmine Crockett on this.
You can't. Jasmine can do no wrong on the Root Cause podcast.
She listen. Hey, Jasmine, you always welcome here, baby. I don't know what they talking about. You can come here.
We need more Jasmines. We need more AOCs. So
Jasmine,
whoa.
But we talked about this
more.
We talked about this before. Shut up, Kendall. But we talked about this before. Whereas the record terminations of Black women, this administration put a bullseye. They have a bullseye on Jasmine's back, on a lot of women, period, but more so Black women as well, including Jasmine Crockett. Did you see what the latest attacks of Jasmine? He's trying to label her. He tries to control the narrative. So he can label you as fat or stupid, he's gonna do it. Yeah. And so he's calling her low IQ. Is Trump calling Jasmine Crockett? Can you imagine that? Jasmine Crockett, low IQ. Did you see her latest ad?
Let me see.
This is how magnificent she is. This is how magnificent. I wanted to give a word that could just put her on another level. You know what I'm saying? Her camp, Jasmine and her camp, they're brilliant. Let's check this out.
Yeah. Crockett. How about her? She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett. Oh, man. Oh, man. She's a very low IQ person.
No, she ain't.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
She's smooth. They can't touch her. They scared, boy. They are scared.
Listen,
They are scared of Crockett.
I don't. So listen to me. Go ahead, Ace. But I help me understand something. I want to understand why, and I'm being serious right now. Why is a black woman willing to talk and talk loud? Why is that so bothersome to people in this country? This is 2025, bruh. This is not 1776, bruh. This isn't 1681, right? This isn't 1847 or 1961. This is 2025. You mean to tell me that me simply speaking up has displaced you, where I take up space in your brain rent free day after day after day, and you follow around my social media talking crazy? What are we talking about? This girl has multiple degrees. She is an attorney. Your daddy sued to get you into college. He sued the college because they wouldn't let your monkey behind in. They didn't want Captain Bone Spurs. They didn't want this guy right here, Captain Bone Spurs. They didn't want General Bone Spurs in their university because you didn't bring any value to their university.
He was a C- student.
You were a C- student. And this woman has multiple degrees, and somehow in your head, she's inferior to you. You realize the level of mental illness you gotta have. Go ahead, Ace.
What I would say is consider the source.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
The drone is killing tremendous numbers of people. You hide behind a tree and the drone comes down and it circles you with fire. You don't have a chance. The tree comes down also, by the way. It's so intense. I mean, you see these trees being knocked down like they're being sawed down by a top-of-the-line timberman, like you know who? Sean Duffy.
Mr. President, who's Sean Duffy?
Who is Sean Duffy?
Was Sean Duffy the doctor?
I gotta look it up.
Is that the presidential doctor? Let's Google him. Google him, Terry, because I don't even know who's Sean Duffy.
Sean Duffy.
Sean Duffy.
I think
Look, we have to Google it.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a former professional lumberjack and had success in timber sports like pole climbing and log rolling before his political career as a U.S. congressman and current and current transportation secretary. So a lumberjack is our U.S. transportation.
He's the acting. I don't know how.
I wish I hadn't Googled it.
Is it saying that he's the acting
U.S. Secretary of Transportation?
Well, right now it says this is, it was last updated July 29th, because at the time of this website of NASA, he was the acting administrator of NASA.
Lumberjack.
This is the guy who's calling Jasmine low IQ. This is that guy.
Lumberjack. Like Sean Duffy.
This is the guy who wants everyone. Now we're not talking about West Virginia. We know West Virginia, they're gonna believe it. We're not talking about New Mexico. New Mexico, we know y'all gonna believe it. But the rest of the country, he wants y'all to think that Jasmine Crockett has a low IQ. That guy, Bone Spurs, right. General Bone Spurs.
They
Terry.
are what they think.
The only time he saw combat is when he watched MASH after the evening news went off. Go ahead, Aaron.
They are what they think DEI is.
Look at him.
Which is crazy.
Ooh, my foots. My foots, they hurt. His foots is hurting.
Terry.
This is crazy. They are what they think DEI, which is great. A lumberjack is our U.S. Secretary of Transportation. Look, so here's my thing about Jasmine Crockett. I love an educated woman.
He said a lumberjack is our U.S. director.
He just said it in that speech, like Sean Duffy. I love what Jasmine Crockett used to represent. I think she's gotten a little campy in the last few. I think she's gotten a little love and hip hop to me in the last little bit because I think she got a little taste of commerce. You know what I'm saying? But I think she is a new voice for people to understand. What I can say about Trump that I can say is an advantage. When I came up in politics, a lot of people my age didn't understand who was in charge. They didn't understand the House and the Senate. They didn't understand how districts work. What I can say is the Trump administration has gotten young Black and brown people really involved in how this democracy, this republic works. And I think she is a voice that can connect with regular everyday people. I think so. I would love her to be a little more polished. However, I'm old school. But you're up against that. I mean, you're up against a president that says big league and makes videos dropping.
I was about to say, because Trump's not polished at all.
No, you know what I'm saying? Again, I come from the Keith Bulin, you know what I'm saying, where you had your stuff together. I wish her the best. I think she's brilliant, and I think she doesn't let them slide with anything. There's another lady that I love. She has short hair. I forgot her name. But she's giving them the business. I just see a lot of Black women.
You're not talking about AOC, are you?
No, I can't stand AOC. I can't.
No, she's a conservative, Aaron. So
no.
Well, I'm in the middle. Here's my thing is I think that the Republicans, well, just like the Republicans, Democrats need to let somebody else hijack their party. And I think that's going to be the rise of Jasmine Crockett, and that's going to be a Crockett movement, an AOC movement, because what's the guy, Schumer and Dollar Store Obama, they can't do it anymore. I mean, they're so far out of touch, and Pelosi retired, which she needed to. She's 30 years beyond past retirement. So, or 30 years overdue for retirement. So, hey, I think this is what Democrats need if they're going to be competitive in the future, in the midterms, in the general. I think they're going to need a massive Crockett movement who's not afraid to call somebody stupid back. They're not afraid to call somebody beach, bad built, blonde. She's not afraid to do that, and she's quick with it too.
But you can't wait.
Yeah, you can't wait. You can't wait. And okay, I'll come back with a comeback. I'll have a comeback in 24 hours. No, she's quick and she'll fire right back. Like she shut down Joel Osteen recently on some of the stuff he was doing, and she went after him right there to his face and backed him off. So no one in the Democratic Party has been able to do that. Even Obama, who is as intelligent as he is, he wouldn't do it because they have to take the high road. We talked about this before. They always have to take the high road. They have to be liked by both sides. They have to be diplomatic. Jasmine is saying, hey, to hell with that. You come at me, I'm firing right back. And that's what Democrats need in their party. This is why, another reason why you got a lot of the younger generation, they're saying, hey, listen, I don't know if I'm not Republican, but I don't know if I want to be Democrats anymore. You got a lot of people leaving because you have a feckle party who just sits there and let the Republicans walk all over them because they want to be bipartisan. And as Eric would always say, they don't want to put their name onto something and say, hey, this is our decision. We're sticking with it. No, they want to say, oh, well, we suggested it, but it was the Republicans that also voted for it as well. No,
yeah, they don't want to go in alone.
They don't want to go in alone. No. But look at Project 2025. How many Democrats have signed on to Project 2025?
Well, I don't think Democrats know how to win.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
First of all, I think both parties are defunct. I think there really is no more Republican Party, really is no Democrat Party. I think everybody's starting from scratch. I have said myself, because Kendall, you know I'm in the State House a lot, and I'm like, I shouldn't be, as a Black conservative, I shouldn't be fighting harder than some of y'all. Like, where's y'all think tanks? Where is y'all money? Where is, like, I'm like, y'all are super passive. Like, I'm going harder. I'm in their offices, in their face, saying this is racism. Y'all are tearing up people's businesses. And they want to have a kente cloth powwow march.
But I think Terry, that's what I was trying to explain and I agree with you. But there's a reason for it, though. This is what everybody needs to understand, especially like in Indiana. The challenge is, we had a super duper majority, and what I think what their strategy is, I think what their thinking is that you want to have some semblance of a working relationship with them. So you have to endure the foolishness just because you know they can just wipe you out if they want to. They can wipe out they can do what they're doing now.
I disagree.
With these districts.
I disagree.
Well, but here, so in what way?
I think just like we talked about Unigov and how they made their little play, I think when I was running for office, I saw egregiousness really, because I was in Democrat districts, right? They are so used to straight ticket voting, and the voters just like, man, I'm voting for you because you're in my district, that they haven't had to fight, right? Like, as a Republican, I got to fight hard. I used to have to fight hard to come out of slating. Just a kid, I had to fight hard to come out of slating. So once I got out of slating, now I actually got to do that. When I was running for a recorder, I was saying all the stuff that needed to be said. I knew it was not an easy win. And then you have the KKK former chairwoman that was running against me. She had to do nothing but put her name on the ballot. It was just straight ticket. So what I've come to find is Democrats, just like I said with the intel, that Miss Jackson know everybody on their street. So Miss Jackson gonna tell everybody which way to go because everybody love Miss Jackson. And they're gonna say, okay, Miss Jackson, let's go. So they haven't had to fight hard wars.
For the national audience, who is Miss Jackson?
Right. It's been surrogacy that they are using.
Yes, she's your baby mama's mama, baby mama's mama, Miss Jackson. Look, I'm just sorry, Miss Jackson.
So they had surrogacy to win elections. They haven't had to fight, and now there is a war happening, and they don't know how to fight the war because they haven't.
Well, here's the thing, and I hear you. I think that's fair. I just think that probably where they are, what they're thinking, and as I've talked to some of them, I think what it is that they're like, listen, because I did a similar thing when there was a group of preachers that met with the lieutenant governor, and
what they said they're gonna buy some chicken and take them to Martin.
No. What I said the very first thing I said to him in that symposium was, I said, Mr. Lieutenant Governor, thank you for coming in and talking to us today. I said, I want to cut across the field though, sir. What have you already earmarked as a priority for y'all's administration?
Yep.
And then we will conform to that.
Absolutely.
I said, because let's be real. Y'all are going to do whatever you want to do no matter what we say. So let's cut across the field. Let's stop pretending like you here to check a box. I said, and I don't blame you, because if I had all absolute power in the state of Indiana, I'd probably do the same thing, right? I said, but let's find out, let's cut across the field. What are your priorities? And then we will try to come up with programming that meets your priorities so that we at least can get something done. And I think that's where some of the Democrats are, because Terry, you know how it works, Terry. So you walk on the floor to vote, right?
Yeah.
And you're outnumbered 60, you're outnumbered 70-30. You're out. You could not show up for that vote. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat in Indiana, if the Republican caucus is in alignment with each other, there is nothing the Democratic caucus can do. Even if you added libertarians and independents, because there's a few, if you added all of them and they caucused with the Democrats, you still wouldn't have enough. You would still have supermajority if a vote required a supermajority in the state, because there are some votes that require supermajority, but you have it. And I guess the thing is, like Eric's point, when he's a lot of times Eric says this, and it is just that because he says all the time that the and I think you mentioned it too, there is no Republican Party and Democratic Party anymore. Both parties really have been hijacked, because then, Governor Braun is like, well, we're doing this because, go talk to Massachusetts.
Well,
Massachusetts have gerrymandered.
Who hijacked the Democratic Party?
No, I'm
Is
saying
this still not the party of Obama?
I don't think, no.
How?
They're not listening to Obama?
I'm saying, who is leading the Democratic Party? Because Hakeem thinks he's Obama, so he's still trying to carry on. Oh, he's Obama 2.0. Chuck Schumer, who hijacked? You are stupid.
If this dude,
who hijacked?
If he makes it to the, if he gets back control of the House, he is the leader of the Democratic Party.
He's not. No.
I hear you, but I'm not.
He's not an extreme. I don't see any drastic difference in between the Obama years to now when it comes to the Democratic Party.
I'm gonna tell you, I can. I can in the amount of galvanization. I can. I think with Obama, there because Obama, things have gone so fast. We have to remember Obama changed how campaigning was done historically, because he used social media where everybody else used paid ads, everybody else did it the old way. So what he basically used grassroots digitally, and there was a huge push, and people were getting involved. They were getting rappers involved, and they were getting all kind of folks involved that had never thought they would vote. My husband, who had never voted and used to be a street boy, he was out there asking people to sign up for voter registration because he felt a part of something for once in his life. So I saw that galvanization, but I have now sensed the complacency of the Democrat Party. People are getting money, they're getting their kids going to private schools, they are kind of cool, and I don't see, it's exactly what you said earlier, Ace. I see Jasmine Crockett bringing that back, but since Obama's been gone, we all just kind of kicking it and being cool and getting what we get and doing what we do. And I think Jasmine is finally saying, I want to empower. I don't see empowerment from the Democrat Party, especially when it comes to Black politicians, especially here in Indiana. I feel like it is still, you are asking them to give you something. And you take that meeting, kiddo. I know who set up that meeting, and I know what the discussion was. And the discussion was, that's why they always want to meet with Black pastors. You notice they never want to meet with Black business people? They want to meet with Black business people because we're going to have demands.
And y'all Black pastors need to stop letting these politicians walk onto your pulpit.
It's safer.
But listen, Harry, you know what's funny?
Let's talk about the Bible instead of you saying, hey, we actually need you to help Black farmers, and you have an agricultural budget. Why are you not using that for Black farmers? Black pastors are not going to ask that.
Yeah, so watch this. So this Black pastor did. And I'm going to be honest with you.
You're
not
different
that
though.
not that specific question, but what Terry, they got irritated with me because I just took.
Now you're the anomaly, and they're gonna call it spook by the
Yeah,
door.
you don't count. You got a political podcast.
Look, I took over the conversation. They got irritated. I told them, I said, "You're not gonna rush me." They said, "Stop rushing me." I said, "I came here to get groceries," and I wanted to say, "Y'all ain't talking about nothing," but I didn't want to be disrespectful. Right. But the point but that's why I started the whole conversation with him, like, let's cut across the field. What are you going to do? And then we will line up with that.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's pragmatic leadership. And I think what happens is, but what I will say is this, as we end tonight, the Democratic Party, to your point, Aaron, I think the thing the Democratic Party is running into is that the old way of negotiating behind closed doors and there being a little bit of partisanship and some gamesmanship, those days are over. This is all out war. And like Terry was saying, you cannot, Eric says it too, you cannot win a war without being willing to have some political guerrilla warfare. I mean, you have to. I mean, it is what it is. You got to get into the weeds with it, and they're not willing to do that.
Yeah, Kendall, I know we're about to close, but just in FIFA is now the ESPN and other sources are reporting that FIFA president may be banned from the sport for violating ethics codes and creating a made up FIFA Peace Prize live on TV without any type of clearance and giving it to Donald Trump. So
he made it up, and we did. That wasn't something he made that up on the spot.
No, yes, their FIFA is about soccer. They're not about handing out world peace prizes. They're about soccer, and the president of FIFA made sure he did it while Canada and Mexico were present in the crowd because it was supposed to be the start of the inaugural game. So you interrupted the game to make up a golden Charlie and the Chocolate Factory medal that was not sanctioned by the FIFA organization because of Trump.
So he's facing a 2-year ban from FIFA for this violation of a code of ethics violation.
Everything Trump touches dies. Listen, good show. Terry Dove-Pittman, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight in place of our brother Eric Johnson. Girl, you did great. We appreciated a lot of insight. And of course, for myself, my brother H. Chandler, our brother Eric Johnson, who is on vacation tonight, and our sister Terry Dove-Pittman. Thank you for hanging out with us. What's up?
Hold on. We can't do the outro just yet. Before you say that,
go ahead.
I got one more question for Terry. Terry, are you an alpha woman?
I am definitely I'm an alpha female. I'm going back to I'm an alpha female.
You're alpha female. Okay, she's a conservative.
There's no such thing.
Alpha female. Kendall, take us out, man.
There's no
what
such
do you
thing.
mean there's no such thing?
Christmas, y'all.
I'm an alpha female. I'm a black capitalist, and I'm a black conservative. So maybe I'm a leprechaun.
So you need to. So you gonna have to come back again because there ain't no such thing as an alpha female. Ain't no
says
such thing.
Kendall. It is a such thing. How you think alpha babies are made? They have to be
says science and says God. But I hear you.
We love you all. Thank you for watching.
She's like, wait a minute, don't pick no fight with me on the way out. And it's trying to
don't pick no fight. They're gonna try to use